think this pretty much gives me everything I'm likely to need. I say that. But with this box set, I round out a lot of what I might need for any given kind of generic fantasy game. Dungeon Crawl Classics being my go-to, but, you know, Dragon Main, if I'm doing some kind of fantasy game with basic role-playing, you know, I don't know. Let's see if if these miniatures have popped out the way they had on the previous one. A few have. All right, so let's see what we've got. Okay, a bunch. I didn't remember, even though I was looking right at it, that this does have a list of what's in the box. Which, when I was trying to figure out what something was, I believe it was hobgoblins, I think, or orcs. It was orcs. I couldn't figure out what I was looking at. Comes with a bunch of stands, including a couple of large stands, because we do have some large pieces here. So we have a second dragon. I don't really end up using dragons very often. They're not something that ever particularly thrilled me, mythologically speaking. I can't say ever. I mean, as a kid, I thought they were pretty cool, but I didn't follow on with that. Oops. Let me get that. I'm watching a dog, and I'm not going to swear. He won't try to eat it. He wouldn't try to eat it. He's a nice dog. I think this time around we got bugbears instead of orcs. Let's see if I'm correct on that. Yeah, hobgoblins, bugbear, yeah, 6 hobgoblins, 2 bugbear captains, and 6 bugbears. Okay. I'm not that, you know, I've said before, I'm not a big D&D guy, so I don't know their distinctions and classifications so much. A bugbear is something that I know existed, like kobolds, and like most things that show up in D&D, they existed before in mythology in different forms, or in the case of a lot of D&D creatures, the various creatures were originally just different names for the same thing. And I believe that's the case with, like, you know, orcs, goblins, kobolds, a lot of that sort of things. I don't know. I'm not a mythologist. But I believe a lot of things just have substitute names. And it's like, there are terms like lich, which I believe originally just meant a corpse, but then later became, in D&D, became a whole thing. That's cool. You know, gelatinous cube, that's classic. This set has a lot of classics. The Displacer Beast, this cool, creepy stone golem guy, a mimic. Actually, there's a couple of mimics. I think this is a basilisk. Whatever this worm thingy is. I don't know what this is. I'm sure it says. Oh, carrion crawler, I guess. Carrion crawlers, sure. And then it's a whole bunch of, again, your classic critters, your rats, one of the other packs of giant spiders, a whole bunch of kobolds, you know, a bunch of these guys who I guess are the bugbears. And, you know, if you were really hard-pressed, you could probably use these for PCs as well. Not necessarily, I mean, well, it depends on what your game is like for this other one. But, I mean, these, you could mistake that for an elf. It's just, it looks like just a person with pointy ears. You know, they're sort of Star Trek villains. They just got slightly funny foreheads and pointy ears. You know, the larger ones, obviously, I guess these are the bugbears, and these must be the hobgoblins, I guess. I don't know. I don't know my D&D critters very well. But anyway, this is the Wanderer's Emporium Wanderer's Emporium Ruthless pack with 36 pieces and a bunch of bases. I should have probably said that at the beginning, but I'm really, really tired and I've had a crazy day, which I'm not going to get into because it's not your problem. It's my problem. They mentioned that it's for D&D, but you can use this for any game that you want. I have just recently found that I've enjoyed the cardboard minis, even when I am doing some solo gaming where I don't necessarily even need miniatures. I sometimes like to have one out to represent either who I'm fighting or who I'm playing, just for my own, edification, I guess. I just enjoy having the pieces out for display. And my thought, again, I think I mentioned this in a previous video about 2D minis, is that at some point I'm going to probably try to run some RPG for younger people. And I think everybody likes to have a certain amount of visual representation, but I think especially for kids, giving them something to focus on, something to latch their imagination onto to get them started. I don't know. I don't have kids. I don't know kids very well, but it seems like that would be cool. I know as a little kid, I would have loved to have had a little thing like this, so I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, so Wanderer's Emporium cardboard minis. I now have, I believe, all that they have produced. I don't know what their next sets are going to be. I don't know if they're doing like 2 sets a year or what the deal is, because they kickstarted this, or backer kit or some crowdfunding. They did earlier in the year, maybe 2-3 months ago. I'm recording this in, I had to think, August, early August. And I think they did the Kickstarter for this maybe in May. Don't quote me on that. So they have a pretty good turnaround. I don't know. I think it's just a couple of people. So I don't know like how long it takes to illustrate all these. There's a lot of different pieces. I said in my previous video, and I say it for this one as well, I would love to see whatever they end up doing, assuming they do more. Whatever they end up doing, I would love to see at least a few player character figures for each set. In the case of this, this is the Sinister one, or no, Ruthless, sorry, Ruthless. Maybe a couple of fighters like a Barbarian or even some kind of like Paladin looking guy or something like that. That kind of thing would just be helpful to have a handful, because, you're never going to have too many variants for PCs. You're just not. So anyway, that's it for me for now. Until next time. Yeah, sorry again, I'm really sleepy and it's just been a day. So, yeah, links below if you want to support me in any way. I could use it. Until next time, take care.